So, interesting thing has happened since Thanksgiving holiday. Now that my channel is networked, I look at the analytics and what's going on. And it was funny because the weekend starting on Thanksgiving Day, until Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend, the views and the comments on my channel dropped by 75%. Starting that Monday, the views on my channel up until today are up 471%, as are the comments. So that would tell me a lot of people over Thanksgiving, after dealing with somebody in their family, decided to go on YouTube and put in narcissism. And a lot of these are new viewers, new subscribers. Most of them are new viewers, new subscribers. And that's a good thing because it looks like the public is waking up to narcissism and is really waking up to there's a problem in my family and in my life. And more people every day are researching it. And I had done the my Narcissist or Terminators video for last Thanksgiving. So, and that one's still pretty popular. It still gets many views. It's part of the documentary done by Scariest Movie Ever Made. So this Thanksgiving, I was definitely more in tune to what was going on, knowing how many people were probably going to be seeing their abuser, their narcissist, and I paid attention. And it's pretty obvious after dealing with the holidays. There's added interest, and in the comments I've gotten and the personal messages I've gotten, there's been another common theme. How come when I was sitting there, I didn't see what was going on? And it's only now, as I'm removed myself from the situation, that I am now, well, God, I should have said this. I should have done that. Oh my God, they were really undermining me here. Why didn't I see it? Why didn't I see it? Because no contact is the only answer is obviously the main reason. But when you want to get down into the nitty gritty of why you don't see this when you're around your narcissist abuser, why, if you were, many people told me they tried to get into it with their narc, or they tried to like not let their narc get away with what they had done. And many of my followers told me they tried and they got sucked in to the rabbit hole. And anybody who's dealt with a narcissistic abuser, whether it be NPD, BPD, HPD, knows what the rabbit hole of narcissism is. And that's simply when you are locked in some type of confrontation with your abuser, with your narcissist. And the conversation just goes to places where days later, when you're alone, you don't even know how you got on the subject you got on. And it's very simple what the narcissist does. See, the narcissist has trained you and trained us to think we're garbage, to think everything that happens is your fault, and the narcissist knows that. So what the narcissist does is, let's say hypothetically in my case, if I want to talk to if I was confronting my mother on her sexual abuse, She would immediately go to something that happened. I don't know. She would bring up something from, oh, well, you always left your toys out, and to get you off base. And we always take the bait. And as you're trying to get your point out, as you're trying to argue with this monster, this machine, you have taken so many different twists and turns down the rabbit hole. You don't know where the conversation has even started. And the narcissist knows inherently you believe there's something wrong with you. You believe all the problems are your fault. So it's very easy in the heat of the moment when the narcissist drops some kind of outlandish accusation at you or brings up something, and I'll give you a perfect example. And I had spoken about when me and my father, I think it was the second time I tried to go no contact, went to my therapist, which was their therapist. It was me and him and my therapist. And I was hammering him on, and I was focused, and I was just hammering him on his lies and I had just as I'm about to corner him on his lie, and where he breaks out and starts crying about what a piece of shit I am, and with all this, now your cousin Mark has diabetes. Now, sitting here now, years later, or even days later for me, where the realization came out, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. Well, you didn't give your cousin diabetes. No, of course not. And it has nothing to do with the conversation at hand. But yet, you are so abused, and I'm so abused. In the heat of the moment, when you're emotional and you're trying to make your point and you're going at it, you will actually believe that somehow you're at fault and you gave your cousin diabetes because of all the stress and bullshit or whatever it is. That you will somehow in that moment make yourself believe that somehow you're a piece of shit and you're at fault. And God damn it, you're going to stand up now when your poor cousin has diabetes and your aunt had breast cancer. And now you believe it. You believe it's your fault. You believe somehow you're responsible, and now you're guilty. And now in your whole mind, you just want the whole conversation to end now, and now you want to back out, you want it to go away, and that's what your abuser wants, because that's what how your abuser has trained you to react. And they could throw out the most ridiculous accusations, and if it goes to the core of you being a bad person, you will believe it. You will believe it. And you will go on believing it if you stay in contact with that people, because they will never get off your throat to make you, to let you even forget it. And that's how people who stay in contact with these people stay abused and stay believing that they're a piece of shit. It's only when you have limited contact and no contact with these people and you separate, and then you're in the car on the way home and you start thinking, and then you're friggin' mad at yourself again. Like, Jesus Christ, I'm a bigger idiot. I can't even believe I fell for it. I had nothing to do with my cousin having diabetes. I have nothing to do with aunts getting cancer or whatever ridiculous accusation has been thrown at you that you bought in the heat of the moment, or you even bought for a while you stayed in contact with this person, and you didn't even realize how ridiculous it was until you broke away. And now that you break away and you separate yourself and you're sitting there, and now you just want to put your head in your hands and you're like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why couldn't I think of this while it was happening? Why would I even let myself believe that something so outlandish and ridiculous is actually my fault? Because that's what you've been trained to believe. Because you've been abused to believe it like that. And only Not acknowledging these people and staying far, far away from them is the only way to win. Somebody asked me, what do I do what do I do? Because my parents are demanding they speak with me. They're demanding. I have nothing to say to them. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to argue, but I want to. Here's my advice. And this girl is worried because they're crazy enough to show up at their door or confront them out on the street. Here's what I would do. If you are absolutely cornered by your abuser and they want to talk to you and this is what you do. You let them say everything they want to say to you. You let them say whatever horrible thing, and you stand there quietly and you stand there silently or sit there. Or if you want to even set it up to go meet them somewhere. But you don't answer any questions. You don't let them repeat themselves. If they start repeating themselves, you say, you've already said that. Do you have anything else to say? No. If they start asking you questions, say, you wanted to speak to me. I'm here to listen. And then when they're done speaking, you say nothing else other than never contact me again. And that's it. That's the best you can do with this person. Unless you're willing to do what I did and just say what you want to say without acknowledgement and not care and then get off. If you're cornered by these people, let them say whatever they want and don't even argue back. And that will drive them absolutely insane. You win because they want the fight. They want you to argue that you're not a piece of shit. They want you to argue that, what are you going to argue for? Whether you are a piece of shit or not is an opinion anyway. And their opinion ain't worth dick. So what does it matter? They want to say something to you and you feel like you're not getting away from it. Let them say whatever they want. And then just say, I've heard you. Now never contact me again. And then what? And then if you can't get away, call 911, call somebody over. Get away from them. And I'm only saying that, I'm not saying that as a course of action. This was a specific question that was asked of me. If I have to get cornered and how do I avoid the argument? You don't. Let them say what they want. And if you don't want to talk to them, say, I've heard you out. I've heard everything you have to say. You have nothing else to say. I have nothing to say to you. And you leave it at that. And then they're not going to know how to react to that. They might try to repeat the same stuff over and over again, but at that point you walk away. They've said everything they wanted to say to them. And you will walk away with the satisfaction of knowing, you know what? They didn't get over on me. And you know they're stilling. And let them still. But you don't engage it. And a lot of people, I think, have, or I know, figured that out over this last holiday. You can't engage these people. You can't reason with them, and they will never ever change. And you will. And when you do try to get into it with them, you get sucked down into their rabbit hole. And by the time you come out of it and they release you, you don't even know where you are or where it started. Not until you get away from them, and then there's the clarity. We all have to deal with the realization is we've been abused. We're an easy mark, an easy target for these people. And, because emotion's involved in it and you feel so strongly about it, of wanting to be heard, of wanting to be justified. They're never gonna justify, they're never gonna validate your feelings. They're not. They're always going to blame you. And they have the power to make you think it's your fault in the end when you're sitting there. Till you can get away with your own thoughts. And then you get all pissed off again and then you victimize yourself because, God damn it, I did it again. So, don't get sucked into the narcissist rabbit hole by not engaging them. All right, everybody. Let me do another video really soon. Thanks for watching. And Ollie Matthews. Talk to you all again real soon. Thanks. Bye.